Every single week I get calls from people moving to Nashville and they're doing their research. Bravo! There's a lot to research. But if you're looking to move to Nashville, unless you know where to look for some of these nooks and crannies of the ideal spot for you, you just don't really know how to look for it. Today I'm going to share with you, if you're looking for new construction, which is what I get a lot of people really want because they want to choose their style of home, they want to choose the layouts, they want to choose their elevations, they want to make some really strong choices, but they also want to be in great school district. They also want to be below a certain price point. If you've been around this channel a lot, you know, or you're doing your research, you know that some of the best school districts also come with a really high price point. Now, if that's not quite in your budget, we got to talk, because I have found nooks and crannies of good school districts, new construction, very affordable prices for new construction, and good size homes. Does that sound interesting to you? Then you're going to have to stick around, because we're going to show you one today. In case you're new or just stumbling on my channel, I am Susan Thetford. I am a lifelong realtor here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. I am one of the few native Nashvillians. Call me a unicorn because there just aren't that many of us. I'm also a retired general contractor. Do these videos every single week about different aspects of moving to Nashville, living in Nashville, communities, neighborhoods, all that type of thing, to help people, you know, discern whether Nashville is the good spot for them. And when I'm talking about Nashville, I'm not only talking about the city of Nashville, I'm talking about the suburbs and all the areas around the Middle Tennessee area. So if you're doing your research, you need to go ahead, subscribe to this show. Every single week there's a new video, there's new information for you. And this video is because so many people ask me for new construction. If you have something that's burning and a question you want to ask and a totally reliable place to ask it, you need to do it right here. Put it in the comments. I will do my very best to answer all your questions, and I'm here for the duration. You might as well ask all your questions and get them answered here. Today we're headed over to Old Hickory, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, about 15 miles. It is in Wilson County, very close to Mount Juliet, which you've probably heard of. But Old Hickory is a word you're going to hear a lot around this area. Hey, Chris, great to see you. Thank you for meeting me today. We are here at a Century community. Century is the name of the builders, and Chris is going to tell us all about it. Perils of new construction. We had to use the bucket. Well, thank you, Chris, for meeting me. Tell me a little about this area, how you found it, and then it was recommended, or I recommended you as my expert on this team when somebody reached out to me about trying to find a home that seemed to meet their perfect needs out here.
Yeah, and we actually are under contract on this particular house here. So we are at Canebrake at Hickory Hills. The community is in Old Hickory, but it's essentially Mount Juliet. So we are in the Wilson County side of Old Hickory. It's a little confusing because right down the end of that street, back at the end of the construction, is the Davidson County line. So Wilson County ends, the utilities here are actually from Davidson County. That doesn't matter, it's just who you pay your bill to. But when you live in Old Hickory in Wilson County, you are zoned for Mount Juliet schools. So a lot of people would like to be in the Mount Juliet.
Which is one of the key components.
Yeah.
New construction, certain price point, Wilson County schools.
Yes.
Those three things, check.
So this particular house is 3,100, just over 3,100 square feet, 5-bedroom with an office. And they were listed at 600. We're under contract for less.
What this house offers in amenities is far superior. If you were in the Davidson County area, for example, what do you think the price point would be? A good 25% higher?
Oh yeah, a 5-bedroom, yeah, you're talking 900 to $1 million.
If it existed.
And in Williamson County, as you know, there's probably 1.5.
If it existed. I mean, that's the bigger part. These larger lots, people often want a 2-car garage at least in the primary and the main level and big rooms. Can't find it on the smaller lot sizes. This is approximately a 1/3 acre, but there are different lot sizes here in the entire community, correct?
Correct. So the entire community is going to be about 250 homes when it's all done. There's a couple of phases. There is a house right down the street here, the second or third one on the right. That's actually a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And it's about 2,700 square feet. I went through it. I was a little shocked actually when I went through it because I expected the rooms to be tiny, you know, 9 by 10, 10 by 10. They were quite spacious. They've used every square inch of the house for living space. And that house is 540, which is unheard of. And you actually back to a tree line.
That checks so many good boxes.
It really does. And right across the street here is going to be the amenity center. It's going to be a pool, right over here. And so these clients in particular asked about a pool. I said, why would you build a pool? You actually have almost your own pool across the street.
That you've got a maintenance fee for. What is the maintenance fee?
It's, I believe this one is about $60 a month.
Very reasonable. So it'll be done in several phases. The airplane reminds me, how far are we from certain amenities that everybody wants to know about? What about the airport?
The airport, if you Uber, you can be parked at the front door in about 20 minutes.
Which is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's, if you haven't flown to Nashville, it's a great airport, super easy access. This is zoned for Green Hill High School. You're about 6 or 7 minutes just because you're going through a couple neighborhoods to get there. Very close. You can probably hear the band practice.
What about the train station? A lot of people know that as a landmark.
Again, probably 7 or 8 minutes right out through the neighborhood and then down Division. And that is that commuter train that runs several times in the morning, several times in the afternoon.
So let's talk about some of the things when somebody wants brand new construction. You may be at a phase like this where it's really, really brand new. And early in the phase, you are going to deal with some new construction all around you, but you also have some incentives if they're at a certain point. They really want to get it moving. Because you are the expert in this area, you knew the agent, you knew the people to deal with. What were some of the incentives that you happen to know about for these customers?
Yes. So right now, they were running $15,000 towards closing, plus an extra 3% of the purchase price in flex cash. So you can use that for appliances, you can use that towards rate buy down to the rest of your closing, although the 15 should cover most of the closing costs. So these particular clients ended up with about $32,000 in incentives.
Very happy people, and they closed.
Blinds for that. We negotiated blinds.
Plus blinds. Hey, it takes negotiation. It takes somebody who knows what to ask for. That's a part of it too. So typically, if I were to buy one, if I were to go out and find a lot out here that I wanted to build, and maybe this plan, because there's nothing out of the ground yet with this particular plan that we're going to see, what would the process be?
Basically, it just depends on what has sold. You know, a lot of these lots get snapped up. The better lots get snapped up.
With the tree line behind you.
And behind. You know, we didn't really get into this because they found this house quickly. I did not see lot premiums in the prices, which is a bit unusual.
That is unusual.
To a tree line,
Yeah.
It may be in the price, but there was no, set price and then extra money for a lot premium, which was really nice.
Well, honestly, I'll tell you, that's one of the reasons I always tell somebody, if this is the right place for them, I want to share the professional in that area who knows exactly what it is, and that would be you here in this area. You've raised your children here. I think you have a son in the police department here, correct?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows the ins and outs, and you knew from years ago, from having gone to a planning commission meeting, that this was going to be a different builder, and you weren't so crazy about that builder, but now you found out who this was, and that's why you brought our customers here.
Yeah, I was on the planning commission several years ago, and this switched hands. It was probably 4 years ago, and it just sat, and everybody wondered what was going on with it. But it ended up being much nicer houses than what was originally planned. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed walking through with our clients that they really liked it as well. The whole process has been great, and then the quality of the build.
So once someone found the lot that they wanted, they decided the house that they wanted, the plans that they might have wanted, what's the next phase? They would go to a design center. It depends on what the package is going to be on each house.
Yeah, depends. Each builder is different. Some of them have design centers now, full blown. Some of them just have packages. And honestly, we did not get that far with this one. There are things you can pick here. This particular house was too far along. They had already picked all that almost as a spec house, but they did a really nice job with what they picked.
Yeah, you were very happy with the package that was offered.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think? Should we go take a look at the house?
Yeah, let's walk through.
Now, you're going to see new construction. It's hard to do. Let me ask one more question, Chris. So if someone buys a home, these customers are out of town right now. They don't live here. So you come back periodically and you're checking to see how it's going and giving some feedback. You've got to deal with some of this kind of thing all the time. You become friends with the GCs.
Yeah, the GCs, the builder. We were just talking to them and asking about the dates and everything. But
Yeah.
I come through and I do FaceTime. I've had clients that come once a week, and then some people just want to wait till the milestone.
To have the big surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's great fun to see this. So you're going to see this from the ugly parts, but it's fun to see it all come together. Okay, before we go into the house, let's talk a little bit about what to expect if you go into a community at the same point that we're in this one. Our people made selections, they made choices without having seen anything. Now, Sort of, kind of. Often what you can find is a builder has also built some other homes in the same area. And maybe you can go to a model home in another area to see that basic floor plan, and you can see some of the choices, you can see the finishes, you can see the quality of their work in a finished home, such that then you take those ideas and recognizing what they do over into the new area. Because when you're buying early on where these people bought, they really are the first, they're the pioneers in that area. Now, you get a lot of benefits for being a pioneer. Often, every single phase, there typically is big price increases. Also, they want to get that area started and have a lot of sales going on in it. So what might normally have a lot premium, do you choose your floor plan? We'll talk about that in a second. But there's typically lot premiums for some of the primo lot if it's got tree line behind it. So let's talk about what you do from the very beginning to not be too confusing. First of all, you need to choose the floor plan that you like, that best fits your family needs. Hopefully, there will be more to see than simply a floor plan drawn out. You might be able to go to one of the other communities that they have built, see those floor plans, and make the choice there from actually walking physically through it. Then the next thing you need to choose will be the elevation, which is the exterior looks, what the detailing of the exterior is. Typically, each floor plan will have 3 to 5 maybe different elevations to use. If you buy early, like our people did in this situation, the sky's the limit. Floor plan that our people chose, you're about to walk through, they also could have any elevation choice that they wanted. The sky was the limit of those 5 plans because there wasn't a home to the left and the right of it that would make them all look exactly the same. They do a good job of not making every area look like a cookie cutter area. So by being one of the first, you get that as a great option to be the first to choose what you want. Between the colors maybe that are outside, or maybe the finishes, is it a hardy board? Is there some brick? Is there some stone? Every single community and every single builder is going to have different options for you. Hopefully you've found a floor plan that you absolutely love. Then the next thing will be choosing the lot. In this situation, he's very fortunate again. All homes are not going to fit on every single lot or on every single home site possibly. So based on the floor plan that you choose, you will have choices of lots that you can possibly choose from, and hopefully there'll be a lot that will work. Sometimes you have to wait to the next phase. There is a layer upon layer upon layer upon layer that you have to work through in this process. We can walk you through it. It's not that complicated. So the next thing you choose would be the floor plan. You've chosen the elevation that you want. You've chosen the exterior colors that you want. One of the things that Chris is talking about, and we won't go to the design center for this company because it's already been done, but then your choices after you're under contract is going into the design center and choosing your selections based on the choices that the company offers. You get to choose some selections. Now, most of the time there's a base home and then there are options you can add to it. You might be adding a fireplace. You might be adding upgraded cabinetry. It might be carpet that's offered in some areas, but you can upgrade 2 floors. That's when it becomes super complicated, simply because it's very easy to go way over the budget that you want to have. So the first thing is, got to know your budget, period, end of statement. What is your budget? Not necessarily what you can afford, but what is it that you want to have in your home? Then there are lots of things that we can talk about that must-haves, nice-to-haves, and can do later. Structural things is the must-have if they're on your list. The structural things that you have choices on are the most important things to get done now because they're just too complicated or hard to do later. That might mean cabinetry that goes to the ceiling or not, doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. There's going to be a price increase for the all the way to the ceiling ones, but is that something you could add on? Can you do a smaller set of cabinetry later with a good cabinet maker? Maybe. Maybe turning an extra room into a bedroom, so you have to put in a bathroom with it. Is that something you can do later? Probably not. It's going to be cost prohibitive. That kind of thing I'd go ahead and do now. Choices on fireplace, often an extra depending on the price point. Do you want a fireplace? Is it a must-have? Or could you possibly maybe go to one of the newer, the very contemporary, if that's your style, fireplaces that they insert into walls, because obviously it's not a wood burning or working fireplace. Is that something that you can save on your budget now and then put in, cut out drywall and insert into studs? Possibly. It's worth looking at the numbers. What is the space cost for the builder doing it and what would it cost for you to do it. Now, in many cases, the builder can do it a lot less expensively than you can, especially while the home is being built. But please don't get overwhelmed with it, but please do recognize, typically the builder, I've had this situation right now with the customers coming in. The builder offered several different lighting pieces from their design center. Customers chose a piece that they wanted as pendant lightings over their kitchen countertop and also in the bathrooms. They wanted a finish that they wanted, and they wanted that light. But by the time 4 months came to putting those lighting fixtures in,
several months later,
with the builder, that fixture itself was no longer gettable. So there sometimes has to be changes, and that builder had to make a change. Same finish, but they had to do a little bit different configuration on the lighting. Sometimes that does change, but that's just part of it. It's much easier now than it was during COVID, I can promise you that, because we were back-ordered on so many things. Those are the things that you and I can talk about when you're here, all the nuances. And if a design center, and if you want to know some of the things that, this might be a really good conversation as far as the video goes. What are some must-haves, need to have, I would pass and save on with new construction and in that design center? Let me know if that's something you'd want in the comments. Anywhere, if you're planning on building a new house, months before you come, I would set up a Pinterest board of each individual home. Tell you what I've found to be very helpful to people, because it's just overwhelming when you see a lot of selections. Set up a Pinterest board for your dream home, and then put kitchens, just put on that dream board for your kitchen, for your primary bedroom, for your primary bathroom, all the main things. Put rooms that you love in there, just throw them in there. You're gonna start seeing a cohesiveness of why it is you love each one. Don't dissect it, just put it there. Looking at that, we can come up with what is the most important to you, and following that and getting some of your basics. That's actually been very helpful to not get overwhelmed. So yeah, let me know. I think a video about upgrades and which ones are valuable and which one's the most valuable and which ones you can leave out and do later. I think that'd be a good video. Let me know what you think. Okay, one more thing before we go into this home that's just at drywall phase. There are no floors in, there's no cabinetry in, it's just drywall. I want you to recognize when you look at a home that's just at drywall, all you've got to see in each room is drywall. You've got nothing. Your eye has nothing to look at. It has no place to stop and look interesting. So this is kind of sometimes a discouraging place for people to see, because they think the rooms look small and they look claustrophobic. Please, don't worry about it. It does change, but I want you to see every phase of the move to creating your very own home here in Nashville. So these homes are all built on a slab, and that's going to be different from every community around Middle Tennessee. Some are crawl, some are slab.
Yeah, which, a little unique here, because, so many of our houses are built on crawl spaces in Middle Tennessee. But slab is nice and solid. There's positive and negatives to both. So this particular one, like I said, is a 5-bedroom, primary down. This is an office right here.
Great windows.
Great windows, a great space. And
look at how far back I am. This is what, about a 14-foot deep room?
Yeah, well, I want to say, I think this one was 12.
Okay.
12 by 12 or 12 by 11. And then we've got kind of a little bit of an oversized 2-car garage, but a nice huge kitchen.
Back to the garage. One door on that garage.
Yeah, one door on the garage.
Big kitchen.
We got this is going to be the sink, and then of course a big peninsula with seating and a pantry.
So do you remember what are the countertops?
I believe these were quartz.
Pantry back behind.
And the other nice thing, so the primary, like I said, is down. So there's this particular house actually has 2 primaries. There's a primary up and a primary down. They're going to use this as a guest suite. Which the nice thing too is it's off the kitchen, but it's not right off the garage entry. A lot of times you'll see the hallway, the garage comes into that hallway.
Right.
This one is separate.
That does make it nice. We'll come back into the master. Whoops, I said it wrong. Primary. This is primary.
Yeah, so we're at the primary right now. It's really good size.
Gee, this
Not
is big.
Massive.
Yeah.
But it's, for the price point that we're in, this is a really good size bedroom.
I don't think, have we mentioned the price point?
Yeah, well, it started at $599.
Okay.
So, and we got it for less.
That's crazy. This is a big room.
Yeah, this is a big room. You got 9-foot ceilings, and then you got double vanities. This you've got the shower pan, but the rest of it will be tiled. And then the closet in this particular room is a little bit smaller. You did see the closet upstairs.
Yeah, we'll see that one too.
And I think I mentioned earlier, the one thing I did like about this builder is they have used every square inch of the house. There's no pockets of, 100 square feet that are not built out.
Well designed, well designed. So this is going to be LVP flooring, I guess.
Yeah, this will be LVP. The whole downstairs will be LVP, waterproof LVP.
But look at, this is crazy. Look at how spacious these two rooms are, just on that main living area.
You get an idea of how large this room is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dining. There's plenty of room for a dining space and still living space, and then you have quite a large bonus room upstairs.
The fireplace, the newer contemporary fireplace.
Look
at this tree line.
It's actually standard as well.
The fireplace is standard?
No, the covered patio.
Oh, okay.
And none of this, they spec'd everything out at the 600.
So everything we see here is not something that they went to the design studio and paid a bigger price because it was the base house and then that they fell in love with, and that happens so many times with new construction.
Yeah, you start at $550 and end up at $7.
Yes, it's such an easy thing to do too, that's for sure. One of the things that Chris was mentioning to me is these floors are going to be hardwood treads. Now, if you've ever priced out hardwood treads, they run about $250 per tread with the tread and labor. So that's unheard of. And look at this room.
Yeah, I always tell
Chris.
people carpet that the most expensive part of your floor is your treads. Literally, it'll cost a lot of times more than the flooring.
100%. That's crazy. This is such good room and such good light.
Yeah, so these particular lots were a third of an acre, but again, the smaller ones are still a quarter acre. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms here. You've got the laundry room, you've got a full bath, and I don't even remember which, I think it's that bedroom there. One of these is a
second bathroom suite. Well, let's go take a look. But it is so much fun to see this come to life.
drywall, so it looks very different.
Oh gosh, that does make a difference.
So this is the secondary suite. These particular clients are going to stay up here. They have kids, so they're going to live.
A lot of people really want to be with their children when they're little bitty, but frankly, I can promise you, I don't know, what was your experience? Once my kids got a little older, this house gives that option. Or it also gives the option for parents or someone to come live with you. Listen, you did such a good job with these people. I know they are overjoyed.
They're excited, and their parents are actually from out of the country, so when they do come, they'll be here for several weeks, a month and a half.
I can't wait to call them to say I've been through their house. So the tub, the shower.
Yeah, and then you get a nice large closet here. So.
That's a crazy wait a minute, I gotta go in here. Look how big this closet is.
Yeah.
This is kind of creepy. Whoa. You can do a lot of damage up here with clothes. This is so... It's so nice.
For the money.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that this community does not have is most of them, if you're in the city limits of Mount Juliet, because we're just outside the city limits, is they have to be all brick or stone. This is hardy board, but if it was all brick and stone, you're probably adding $40,000 to $50,000 to the price.
That really pushes the price a lot.
There is a community, a Beazer community up the road that similar size houses, but they're not 6, they're 7 to 800,000.
It just takes priorities, but I tell you what, I think I could spend that money very nicely in some amenities or things I want in the house.
And I will say that, so I lived at both of the Hickory Hills that's attached here, then the next community over at Willoughby Station. I've lived in both of those communities, and the location within Mount Juliet is a great central location. You go out one way, you head to Hermitage, you go out the other entrance, you're right in the middle of Mount Juliet.
How far are we from groceries? How far are we from all the things you need on a daily basis?
10 minutes, you're in between 2 Publix and Kroger. Aldi's a few, actually Aldi and Hermitage is the same. So 10 minutes, you could be at 4 or 5 different. Providence is 15 minutes.
And Providence is the area that has all the major hub of shopping and every restaurant, every grocery, everything you can think of you need.
Now, next year you will be we're getting a Sprouts right by the train station, right?
Oh yeah.
Right next to my office. So you'll be about 10 minutes from the Sprouts, which everybody's really excited about. We have Costco, we have BJ's Wholesale Club. So
Super.
Everything is, Mount Juliet's just not that large. So in 20 minutes you can be pretty much anywhere within Mount Juliet, and usually less than that.
And you're not in the traffic snarls.
No, it's, just like Nashville, it's definitely getting more crowded, and we do have rush hours where Mount Juliet Road.
It'll take you 5 minutes rather than 10.
It's still a small community feel. There's 45,000 people here, but it's, I still love living here. I've never thought about leaving,
So how long have you lived in this area?
It's about 20 years.
And how long have you been in Wilson County, Mount Juliet?
I moved from Maryland to here 20 years ago.
Never looked back.
Juliet,
Yeah. Okay, so this is the entrance to the older section, Hickory Hills, that was developed in the 80s. So this is a continuation of that street. Will it have a through street to get out anywhere else?
No, there's actually no through streets, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
This whole, so to the right here, the current construction is phase 1, and that'll go around. I think it's about 50-50, so half the houses will be phase 1, and then this will end right next to our house here. This will be the end of phase 2, but it goes all the way down the hill to the trees and back around.
This is a good area. Somebody just wants to get out and walk for a couple miles every day.
Definitely kind of hilly. It's kind of nice. You get great views. It's quiet out here. You can actually see, I've never noticed it, but you can actually see Nashville right over there. It's right downtown. You can zoom in on that over there, but
Well, there's definitely something to be said for being a first, because each phase, prices are going up.
yeah, and every builder does it different, as you know. If you're buying Beazer, they sell 3 houses and they raise the price. They sell 3 houses, raise the price. I don't know if this one, they have sections of each of phase 1 and phase 2, so that they're building this section right here, then they'll probably raise the prices. But that's just one of the things you get for dealing with all the construction mess, is you get the lower price, and you get the equity as they raise prices for you,
Right.
And as you know, being a former builder, first and last is the best. Either get in early, or you're the last one out, or the last one in, and everybody wants to get out quick.
You will pay more than the first people, but at the same point, you don't have the competition of the new construction, of the new houses coming up with you. You have to move out of the city or out of the area. Well, I think this has been huge. I'm so happy to get to see some of the new construction that's up here in Wilson County, because there's far more choices when we get further out of the city. But honestly, how many times do you go into Nashville for any reason other than concerts or a football game?
Hockey games, concerts, dinner, and it's so convenient. It's 25 minutes. I can be downtown, parked. Usually at 5th and Broad is where we park, and it's 25, maybe 30 minutes, and it's an easy drive. We do take the train.
See, I think that would be fun. That's just some of the tips that people need to know, and having a local expert, both for the construction, for the new areas, and knowing the best places to go in each area. That's why I always come to see Chris. Chris, thanks so much for meeting us.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay, has that been pretty overwhelming? I'm sorry about that. Building new construction actually can be overwhelming. There are lots of ups and downs in that, but we can help you take you through the process. Whether you're looking for new construction and you want to build your own, whether you're looking for a perfectly done home already and all you got to do is move your furniture in, we can help you find your dream home here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Be sure to reach out to us, just like everybody else has been doing lately, and we're happy to help you in any way that we can. If you need a Nashville relocation guide, you haven't gotten your updated one for 2024, you'll find it right here. And if you are considering putting your home on the market, you need to know all the things you need to get your home prepped to make a great profit on that home. That's something that I put together, a little gift I put together for you. Regardless of where you're coming from, this Prep for Profit guide will help you a lot. See you next week.